So in cases where, black families are split up more often statistically, this would have more to do with black men than white men. This isn't even a white issue if you want to look at statistics. Same with white men being imprisoned. Black people are imprisoned more often in America than white people. In these cases, I think that it's more important to hear what black MGTOW has to say than what white MGTOW has to say. Like BIGJXXX.
Greeting and salutations. There's a reason why I'm using the intro of this video. There's a reason why I'm using this intro to make a point. However, let me sit here and say this. I remember I was on this happened around I want to say 8 years ago, 2016. Hillary Clinton was in the Democratic primary running against Bernie Sanders and that guy named Martin O'Reilly or O'Daly. Well, I forgot his name. Anyway, right? So I'm up in there. I started being politics. So there was two young black men running for office. I will not tell you, I will not disclose who these men are. I will not disclose what district it was or what districts it was. So I saw them running, and we all came from the same university. At this time, I was in my I was far removed because they came out of the same university, and these young men was in their I would say in their early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, and so they decided to run for office in two different places, districts. So me being part of the alumni, if you will, because I heard about them about their candidacies. I said, well, let me be the uh, let me be their you know part of the campaign. So one of the candidates, I was offering legislation. I was doing a policy. I was writing policy for them, and I was writing my legislation. I wrote about 2 or 3 pieces of legislation for them, so they can campaign on. They were interested in what I was gave them. They did their little. They changed up on what I favor because not everybody agree. Not everybody agree on one thing. So they took what I said and they changed it. They changed some of the things. Edit it out, edit some things in. What they want, all that. Right? That's fine. That's fine. You're not gonna get 100% of what you want, right? So on the campaign trail, they went to a certain location. One of the candidates lost the Democratic primary, and the other one won his primary. So, long story short, on the campaign trail, this one particular candidate, the remaining candidate, had an issue. So he posted something on his social media account, and he was lamenting. He was lamenting about this certain pastor of this church. This certain pastor of this small town church. And when I was reading his post and I came in contact with him, and I said to the fact of, I didn't chuckle. I just shake my head. And this kind of reminds me why young black men do not trust black pastors and older black men. Let me bring another case, right? Some of y'all remember that I had, and it's in the description box, that I had interviewed Marcel Dixon, right? Marcel Dixon. Marcel Dixon was a young black man from South Carolina running against Congressman, forgot his name, Clyburn, right? And Clyburn has been in office since the 1980s. But instead of stepping aside and, he tried to crush any young black candidate, any young black leader coming up during the ranks in the Democratic Party and in South Carolina as well. Then I wrote, not wrote, I'm sorry, ain't wrote. I read a book called The Breakthrough by Gwen Ifill, right? In Gwen Ifill, the last chapter of the book, because the book was talking about Obama's rise and the election of Barack Obama and what happened during the summer or spring of 2008. And what happened in spring of 2008, the spring and summer of 2008 rather, coming up into the election. Actually, 3 things had happened. And it's the same thing with the other 2 things I'm about to talk about. When Obama was running, Jim Clyburn, the same person that went after Marcel Dixon, was trying to derail the 2008 Democratic presidential nomination, trying to lend his support towards Hillary Clinton. Then at the same time, you had the Reverend Jesse Jackson, the 1984 and 1988 presidential candidate. And then later on, along with Jesse Jackson, you had the one-time presidential candidate of 2004, Al Sharpton, trying to hinder President Obama. And let me add the 4th person, right? Let me add the 4th person to this. Tavis Smiley and Cornel West. Now, thinking back to that book, to Gwen Ifill's book, the last chapter, she's telling what is hindering black men, black people's achievement, not only in politics, but on a social level. And that is older black men are jealous, or should I say, the most jealous group of individuals on this planet. I've been told this years ago, right? I was told this as a young man, right? Some people in my family told, hey, maybe you'll watch out for that because these old men want you to fail. See, these older men want you to fail because they never achieve the height. They want they don't want the world to see you, to see them to fade into obscurity because they're black. Because I'm really talking about black men at this. They don't want you to fade. They always want to do this baby boomer tactic of, man, I got a son. You learned, you got here because of me, and not the, and you don't even know who this person is. And it's kind of like this on YouTube as well. I remember one time there was a fool from the state of Alabama. I think he's from Alabama. He's supposed to be one Hebrew Israelite Negro from Alabama, talking about, oh, you thinking just like me. You got that from me. Excuse me? What? Got what from you? Never even heard of you. I mean, you never have a personal. I never had no personal relationship, nor I have a personal conversation with you. So how am I supposed to got something from you when I don't know you? And this is what I'm talking about. The vanity, the how am I gonna say it? The one of some of the deadly sins, right? Envy, pride, and let me say sloth. For some of them, it's sloth. Jim Clyburn's, his thing is being lazy and not giving the people of South Carolina the goods and services he needs, even though he's the only black congressman and only black, or the only Democratic, only Democrat congressperson out of South Carolina, and yet he won't do his due diligence about the poverty in his district, because his district is what? Oh, in part had the most poverty, the most crime, the most pollution. But instead of stepping aside and allowing a new generation to take hold, he tried to put roadblocks. You see, like I said, white supremacy is not conducted by a white person. White people are not the real white supremacists. No. White supremacy. White supremacy is a mindset, and it's a mindset that where older black men in their 50s and 60s and 70s believe that they are the answer to everything, and yet they fail to see that They fail to see that instead of being a mentor, they're rather that they think they can be the daddy of everybody. And they don't know how to give good advice except for when it's time to put themselves up on a uh, pedestal. You know, so shout out to Gwen Ifill in that book, The Breakthrough. The Breakthrough. Y'all might need to read that book, by the way. Um, Something else I gotta add. Something else had happened. But anyway, and going back to the black pastor, right? Black pastors do this too. See, they wonder why young black men do not attend the church. They want to know why black men do not attend the church. See, we see y'all. We see y'all on that pulpit with that 4-button, 5-button suit on, with all them stupid buttons on that you only need 3 buttons. You don't need no you need 2 or 3 buttons. You don't need no 5 buttons from your waist on up to your neck. While the people you serve in the pulpit, in the pews, cannot afford that same suit your ass is wearing, or their ass is wearing. And when some of the young men, I mean the smarter ones, those who's more about action, try to break away and try to do their own thing, y'all try to hinder these young men, while at the same time y'all being simps. Oh yes, oh yes. I'm gonna say this right now. Well, y'all want to be simps and daddy girls, trying to use women to inject y'all, trying to use women to put yourselves over these young men. Y'all either try to be daddies to young women who many of y'all are not raising your own daughters. Hello world. Y'all not even raising your own daughters, but yet y'all try to be daddy's girls with these young men, or with these young girls, and try to use these young girls in the community to put over these young men. See, I see that. I see that. I see that all the time. These old black politicians, these black pastors, and these simps, be the main ones who are jealous, who have envy, who is lazy. And this is the reason why, ladies and gentlemen, why there's a hatred within the community. Now, I want y'all to use some comprehension, because we know a lot of y'all can't comprehend at all. Y'all can't comprehend at all. So I want you to do this. I didn't say all older black men, because I already described whom, and what part of black society I'm addressing. These older black politicians, these so-called, Roland Martin types, these boule Roland Martin types. I came from a Greek organization. I'm a radio show host, all that. And then you got these pastors let me inform you, beware of them. Yes, yes, beware of them. Because they will sit there, these types of people within the black community will try to slit your throat. They'll try to slit your throat. They'll try to destroy their future. You see? And that's the problem. They'd rather destroy their future, their own future, just to make themselves look special and look good. That's part of the reason why Joe Biden is the president. That's why Kamala Harris had, and thus, 4 years later, since this is the last, since this is the last day of 2000, no, the last month of 2024. That's that's part of the reason why Kamala Harris lost the election, and it's not really her fault. No, whoa. Let me tell it like this: 75% of it is not her fault, but that's for a different video. Anyway, jealous black men, these old, they ain't nobody who had more envious, more jealousy than the older, baby booming black male. Big J out.